Hey everybody, it's so good to be back. Told Stacey this morning, I miss my community. I had been working hard on the Taylor Welding channel.
Yeah.
We got a super chat. Thanks
Daniel,
guys for being here. Daniel Byard.
thank you, Daniel. He's actually the one that gave away 4 silver ounces the other day that we were able to give away on
so
a live
cool.
stream.
Silver's really fun. Thank you for the super chat.
We're going to give away a silver ounce later.
Perfect.
For our first time back since we were in YouTube lockdown.
I've been in the clink.
You guys are so good to be back. Rumble's just not the same.
Yeah, it's not. It's clunky, but we've got our other platform. It's on Rumble. We've got our Twitter.
We're working hard at it.
Yeah, so I showed some violence. I thought it was important that people saw what happens when the government sends the wrong signals.
Oh, I'm sorry. Real quick. Daniel just said, can we do 2 silver coins on me tonight? Oh, my goodness. Seriously, Daniel?
Absolutely.
We'll
Silver's
do 2
on Daniel
silver
tonight.
giveaway, then.
Let's give away one right now.
You want to give away one?
Right in the beginning.
And then I want to read scripture.
Okay. Oh, let's read scripture first. Go ahead.
Well, Mr. Al, he's so amazing. Let me find the scripture that he sends me every single morning. I look forward to it. And I actually told him, I said, I'm going to be using this one in our next live stream. He says, this is Proverbs again, you guys. Believe in the Bible. Don't believe in the Bible, whatever you want. But if you read Proverbs, if you live by that, that is some good stuff to live by. It says, quote, this is Proverbs 21.
It's encouraging.
Said, the wicked are shameless and stubborn, but the lovers of God have a holy confidence. All of your brilliant wisdom and clever insight will be of no help at all if the Lord is against you. You can do your best to prepare for the battle, but ultimate victory comes from the Lord God. So, there you go. That's from Mr. Al.
If it's not in his plans, I don't want it, you know? All right, guys, so let's get into it.
Let's give away some silver, you said.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry.
I know,
feel
we
like
get
I'm supposed to be getting into the news. I'm getting rusty. Okay, so Daniel's giving away silver. Right now, put hashtag
Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah. Hashtag Daniel.
As many times as you want.
Yep.
And I will randomly select a name straight from the chat. And I might give it a second or two. I put a delay on the comments because I like trying to keep up with them. So just keep putting it in there many times you want. And there's no strings attached. It'd be cool if you'd hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. Because it's kind of like when you do that, it's kind of like a text message. You know, if you've got that bell ring, when I send something, you get it. And if something happens, you know, I can just send a post, and a lot of times it's polls and stuff like that. But you know, it's a good way to stay in contact. So while y'all are doing that, I'll give you about a minute. I would like to talk about the CPI. The CPI numbers came out today, and I've got some hypothetical situations that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about what happened in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and what's going on today, and some things we can learn from what happened in history when we experience hyperinflation. I think we live in interesting times, and more than likely we are going to experience some hyperinflation in the future. It's not right now, but this is all part of it. This is all part of they're raising interest rates, trying to slow down inflation, and they've brought it down all the way from 4.8% way on down to 4.7%.
If that's even accurate.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
That's the core inflation. Now that takes out food and energy, all that stuff that's so expensive. You know, we don't calculate that. Don't look over there. Look over here. There's balloons, rainbows. Food inflation is at 4.9%. It's an improvement, but it's still very high. Energy prices are down 12.5% compared to last year. That's a plus, but I have been noticing oil, natural gas. I made some trades the other day. I got stopped out, and it's been going parabolic ever since. Shelter inflation is at 7.7%, showing slow improvement. But still, we're well above the 2% target. Services inflation is at 6.1%, indicating a hot labor market, which is contributing to the inflation, if you'll buy that one.
Well, if you look everywhere, there's always signs up going, hey, we need. I cannot tell you the number of businesses that I go to that said, We need help. We need help hiring involved.
I'm not going to bore you with all the numbers because you guys know things are getting expensive, but I would like to talk about some hypothetical situations and what happened previously, before things got very manipulated. But situation number one, go ahead.
Well, why don't we do?
Are you ready to do
Yeah,
silver?
let's do, yeah, because we've got a lot of them up there.
I'm going to go all the way up.
You got a lot.
Man, y'all putting it in there now. Okay, I'm going to start here. I'm going to go up.
Okay. What should I tell you when to stop?
Up, down, up, down.
Stop.
That one. Acres. Airs, acres. Aries acres.
There you go. Oh, you guys, and we've been told.
Just text that number.
Yeah, and there is a sheen on it, or we got to fix that. They can't see it. They said very
okay.
well.
I'll get a whiteboard.
So 318-564-5823. If you guys will text me, I will get that to you in the mail. Well, it might be next week because we're heading out of town tomorrow, but we'll get that to you.
Airs acres. Text that number, and just so you know, if Stacey's your broker for precious metals, all you have to do is text her. Hey, lock me in. Boop. It's done.
Yep.
It's like the simplest thing ever. Okay, situation number one, the hypothetical. The Federal Reserve decides to raise interest rates by 0.25% at their next meeting, the FOMC meeting in September. Despite high inflation numbers reported in the CPI inflation report, this decision surprises the market and leads to increased uncertainty and volatility in financial markets. How likely is that? All right. Hypothetical situation number two, food inflation continues to rise despite what's going on, surpassing 5% and putting additional strain on consumers and their budgets. This leads to public outcry and calls for government intervention. I want to expand on that a little bit. So this is how we get to hyperinflation. When the public says, we can't get anything we want. We don't have goods and services. We can't get food. It's too expensive. And the government will print. Money printer go burr. That's how I think this ends. And that's when precious metals should perform. And if you haven't seen precious metals lately, they have been going down. The premiums have been going down.
Premiums and spots going down. But I want to go back to that a little bit, what you're talking about on the market, the food market or whatever. Okay. I'm talking to a lot of people right now, and they're struggling with that. They're struggling with cost. They're struggling with getting stuff done. I mean, you just talk to them. Every person I talk to, the cost is up to even get anything done. The different things that's happened across the board, their crops are down. I mean, we're in a kind of a different era right now. So I could easily see
interest rates are up and interest the stock market's down.
Yeah, I could easily see where they would say, "Oh my goodness, the government's going to step in and save you and help you." I mean, I could so easily see that. So go ahead. Yeah, no, that's a good song.
No, you're right. You're right. But that's how this ends. I think the government's going to print it up. We're just right here. It's like a gift. We're having low prices, and they're getting cheaper. And I'll talk about the prices in just a minute because we're at 2011 prices now. So the only asset that hasn't moved. Okay, hypothetical situation number three. Energy prices experience a sudden spike due to geopolitical tensions in major oil-producing regions. This unexpected increase in energy costs causes headline inflation to surge, prompting concerns about the potential impact in economic growth. That is extremely likely. We've never been so close to World War III since I've been alive. And, just think through that one.
Well, can I just say that on something right there?
Yeah, go ahead.
So speaking of all that, we're talking about going to war and all that kind of stuff. And you guys, we are. To me, and I talked to so many of you guys on the phone, and actually I read a book the other day. And actually, next time I come out, I want to talk about this book that I read. It was a lady who lived through two wars, World War I and World War II, and about the different things, key factors. Joe Biden just signed into law right now. So we're talking about he's doing a Taiwan trade agreement. Well, we all know that's a big deal when it comes to Japan and it comes to China. We all know right now that we're supporting Ukraine. They've just come to the floor and they've just asked for more money for Ukraine. So you guys look at the big picture on this. I mean, we are setting up for a World War III, God forbid, if it doesn't change, that we're headed there. I mean, we've got things
I've
that are
been hearing
happening.
rumors about a draft.
I've heard that too, and I hope in God and pray that's not true.
uh,
But anyway, he just signed that into.
wild.
So now we've got Taiwan that we're going to support. We've got Ukraine that we're going to support. Ukraine's not in the NATO, but we've also said all these different things. The other companies that come into NATO. So pay attention. We'll see what happens.
It's NATO against BRICS.
Yeah. Oh, and Mexico actually,
That's
by the
what's
way,
happening.
it's just come out for some reason. Don't know why. They said there was some pressure that was done. They're going to say they're not going to join BRICS, which they wanted to officially. But now they said, no, we're going to back away and not join BRICS. But France
that would probably
is
be pretty
really
smart
mad.
of them, seeing there are, we're connected.
I don't know, but they really wanted to at one point. They had put an application in, but France now has come out and they desperately want to, but they have not been invited. So there you go.
The UN
Side note there.
is pushing South America and Central Northern America together. They're wanting it to be one little place where you can just come across the border and get free stuff. Speaking of all the immigration that's going on,
down. We'll get through with that when you get through
we'll
with
go
that.
down that in a second.
Immigration, yeah.
Hypothetical situation number 5. I'm gonna skip number 4 because we've already talked about it pretty much. The housing market experiences a significant downturn, causing a slowdown in shelter inflation. This unexpected development eases concerns about inflationary pressures temporarily, but raises worries about the health of the overall economy and the potential for a broader economic downturn. I think we do have a broader economic downturn coming. I think this is just the precursor for everybody to do their little tricks, and then we really have some devastating things happen later on. I'm going to skip that one, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna skip a lot of this, guys. I've got several of them on here. Maybe I'll continue it if you like it, but I want to ease on because I'm going to make this live stream too long. To what happened in 1970, the core inflation. You guys that lived through the 70s, you remember the inflation. It was around 6.7%, and people talk about it like it was the worst thing ever. And we're at 4.7?
Yep.
We were.
Well, that's what they say.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They've manipulated the CPI, the basket of goods that they cherry pick to manipulate everything. It's a house of cards and smoke and mirrors. But that's what it says, 6.7% in the 70s. In 1980, 4 to 5%. 90s, 2 to 3. Early 2000s, 1 to 2. 2008, 1 to 2. And 2010s, 1 to 2. All right. How did gold perform? We'll talk about some other things that people that experience hyperinflation run to. I've got 4 in order. But gold performed in the 70s, was a stellar year for gold. It went from $35 an ounce to around $800 an ounce by 1980. That's one heck of a bull market. In the 80s, prices dropped, things stabilized, and it stayed around $300 or $400. I kind of think it's going to be the same. It's going to go from 1900.
Well, I've got some stuff on gold, so
10,000.
keep going.
And it could.
Yeah, because I've been dealing with it all day today, so keep going.
Okay, in the 90s, 350, 450. 2000, around 300 an ounce. And then it went up. In 2001, it went over 1,000 an ounce. So that's a pretty good jump. In 2008, all right, guys, this is when they opened Pandora's box and they realized they can print money no matter what. It's like, hey, we can do this thing. It's called print money and nothing really happens. Well, turns out it does. It comes back in the form of inflation. In 2008, prices surged from 700 an ounce to over 1,900 an ounce. In the 2010s, it's peaked around 1,900 per ounce in 2011, which is about where we are now. And it remained relatively high, fluctuating between 10,000 and 1,800. It's just strange to me that, 13, 14 years ago, the prices are the same. Something's wrong. Something is broken. Okay. During hyperinflation, what do the citizens want most? They want a store of value. They don't want a place to store their wealth.
I'm going to talk to you, and I'm
Yeah,
going
go
to
ahead.
interrupt you just a little bit about gold. Sorry, just to tell you. So
Go for it.
let's talk
Just
about
gotta
gold
interrupt
just a
me. Get
second.
in there.
I'm going to interrupt him. That's what we do, husband and wife. All right, so you guys, gold. We've been talking about this. I've been dealing with this all day long. So I've been talking about this. China has been buying gold like crazy, you guys. We don't even know how much they bought. Poland, Turkey, all these, the gold they have been purchasing has been through the roof. Russia actually stopped for a while. Now they have stepped up their game again. They're buying gold again. We don't even know. The rumor is that, of course, that they're going to do BRICS and it's going to be backed up by gold. We don't know if that's true or not. There's rumors of that. I have no idea. All I know, look at even India. India, they are encouraging all of their even citizens to buy gold, buy gold, buy gold. So you guys just look at the news and you'll just see right now what is going on with the gold. The gold's actually down right now. It's like $1,918 and like 30 cents. I don't hang on, I can tell you exactly. But it's down right now.
1900 is a round number.
Well,
I kinda
say
figured
no.
it'd stop there.
I tell you, it's less than that. It's $1,915.70. It just
Wow.
dropped again. But you guys, every time I get on my news and I look at these different charts and I look at these different countries, they're constantly buying up gold all the time. I don't know how much they're buying up, but anyway,
Well,
just
they've been
interjected
breaking
there.
records. Central banks have been breaking records. But the citizens, oh, I got to give a shout out. Sam Santos from Twitter. He retweeted and joined the live stream and then subscribed. Thanks, Sam. I appreciate that. And thank you, M&J, for letting me know. They have alternatives. So citizens that have been through hyperinflation look for currency alternatives, foreign currencies. That's something everybody should think about, diversify. A stable foreign currency, which used to be the euro and the US dollar, but it's just who's doing the least bad at the moment. Hard assets. This includes gold and silver. Just think tangible assets, real estate, those type of things. Those hold value. In the Bible, it was gold, silver, farmland, and farm animals, or land and farm animals. Essential goods and services. This is number 3. It's in order. Food, medicine, basic necessities. Get your preps. There's no reason not to. The prices are going up.
So repeat that again. What'd you just say?
What's that?
You just said about repeat that essential goods and
Essential
services?
goods and services.
So I just read an article the other day. Let's see if I can find it really quick. Where it said it's never more important than ever to get, and now I can't find it.
Oh, there were some government officials buying emergency food as well.
Oh, can we talk about that for 5 seconds then?
Yeah,
While you're going down that?
Wild.
So there was actually, yeah, okay. So actually it's on Zero Hedge right now. If you guys go to Zero Hedge, this literally just came out just a few minutes ago. This is something very new. And they said it's stockpiling critical medication has never been more important. And they talk about it. They said you never know if a medical crisis is around the corner. And they even give doctors that are quoting Dr. Such and Such. You guys can get on here and look. But they said in the history of our lifeline, they said it is never more important to stockpile medical. And so I want to read this. I have to be very cryptic because this person, I cannot disclose who and what. But it said doctors are medical professions. And they are saying that anything, medical emergency kits containing any assortment of life-saving medications, ivermectin, imagine that, Z-Packs, and they're saying all these life-saving medications that you need to get in on hand. So this is from a subscriber. So I cannot repeat their name, but they own a small company that packs long-term food, and they advertise with another company. Well, this company that they advertise with that apparently is very well familiar with, let's just say certain House representatives and different people like that that are in the higher up. And they wanted to know where they could buy MREs. And he said, are you asking for my family personally or for the state? Are you calling for your state? He said, no, I'm asking for myself personally. So he said he had to go. He will call back. He said, but this person, so obviously this representative knows something that's going on. And I told Chris the other day, I said, whenever we see stuff like that in the news, I said, that means that they know something that we don't know. You just look what happened the other day with different things that are passed in the House and representatives and all that kind of stuff. They know things. Oh, for example, what we were talking about, Nancy Pelosi and her husband when she did the chip thing and all that kind of stuff. They know well in advance of what's happening.
That's why, watch the wealthy, watch the few that don't want you to eat meat. They want you to eat bugs. Watch them. They won't tell you what to do, but they do leave clues, and and here we are.
All right.
Back to essential goods and services.
I interrupted you.
No, that was a great story. Food, medicine, basic necessities. Get them, no excuses. That's it. Take some of your expensive stock and buy a whole cow, something like that. Generators, stuff you're going to need. Non-perishable goods. That's number 4. Items with long shelf lives, canned goods, bottled water, and other non-perishable goods. So that's it for the inflation segment. And we also got some news in there too. Where would you like to go from here? Beyond meat?
Yeah. Okay, so I want to talk about meat in 2 different articles. One, let's see. I've got, I wanted to talk about where they kind of dump. Let's see if I can find it. So Beyond Meat has had a sale plunge. They have been losing money and in their revenue. And they said that it's by like almost a third a share of their price. It's tumbling by 12% after a rocky few months. They're trying to restructure whatever. But I think a lot of people are going, hey, you guys, this isn't tasting good. I've actually talked to a few people that have tried this stuff, and they said it does not taste good. So, but on the heels of that,
hang on. The company announced plans after a year after cutting almost a fifth of their workers. Yeah. So they citing, check this out. I told you they leave clues. Well, here's one right here. Citing macroeconomic factors, softer demand for plant-based meats, high inflation, and rising interest rates. So they're scaling back. They're laying people off. And people don't want fake meat. All right. Interest groups have succeeded, and this is a quote from the CEO. He says, interest groups have succeeded in seeding doubt and fear around the ingredients and processes used to create our product and other plant-based substitutes.
Well, I just had someone actually reach out to me the other day.
I just want some real meat.
I do. And they actually, because, we're very transparent of what we do. We get someone to raise us a cow every year, and they don't. Ribeye. I know, it's amazing.
Right before I got here.
Yeah. So, and they don't inject them with a lot of hormones and steroids and all that kind of stuff. Matter of fact, I have it on text exactly what they inject them with. There's one shot when they're born that they have to have, and there's nothing else. There is no like a bunch of stuff. There's not steroids added to the food. I have it on text. She actually sent me the people that do the cow for us that grow it. And so our neighbor was going to actually, and I said, yes, that's awesome. Speaking of all of that kind of stuff, though, and going down that, I want to talk about 2 things. One, we're going to talk about where you're talking about the loans and all that kind of stuff. And then you're going to talk about the ESG, and you're going to talk about the cattle and the meat and all that kind of stuff. By the way, before we go any further, we got 304 people on here. We got 162 likes. You guys, we just got out of YouTube jail.
We got out of the clink.
Can you go like that button for us? We would appreciate it so much because that's just how it's been for the last 6 days. And we would really, really appreciate it because we do a lot of work. Tomorrow we'll have another video coming up, which we're so thankful. We're going to have a sponsor, which is going to help us.
Sponsor for that video.
It just helps. And
I want to put a little something in here real quick. Hey, these mining companies reach out to me and they pay me to advertise the company. I'm never going to tell you, this is my stock pick. Buy this right now. That kind of stuff. Because I see a lot of YouTubers do that. And that is not where I want to be or anything about it. But there's a reason we call like soda dispensing machines Coke machines.
Yep.
Because if Pepsi would have done a better job advertising, we'd be calling a Pepsi machine. So they want to be advertised. And I'm struggling with doing it. But at the same time, it's like, well, I don't mind mentioning you, but I'm not going to try to sell your stock. That's not what the channel's about. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is that okay? Because I just want to be upfront and honest. I'm for the community. But if I can get a sponsored video every now and then, does it bother you guys or hurt your feelings or you just hate it? Because a lot of people hate somebody else to make money. It's crazy. Had a guy reach out to me on email, wanting me to send him a free welding lens. I said, I don't just have free welding lens to send out. But here's the link if you want to buy one. And he cursed me and told me something to the tune of, you've got money and I don't. You should just send it to me. That's what you call poverty mindset. Anyway, I just want to be upfront on it.
Well, sometimes we do appreciate the sponsors because it gives us a little bit of breathing room and we can take the time and we can do research. But so I knocked off, I had the article in front of me and I think I must have knocked it off real quick. But you guys, we mentioned it on our Rumble channel the other day, talking about meat and all this kind of stuff. Bill Gates, I'm telling you, this guy is all over the planet. I mean, he flies his jets. He wants to go green, yet he's modifying mosquitoes. He's buying up farmland, and now he's modifying ticks. And these ticks are creating issues where people are now allergic to red meat. You guys, and we know somebody.
Can I just say something real quick?
Please.
And then keep going.
No, please. Go for
and it's easy just to say it. Oh, yeah, Bill Gates let go 70 million mosquitoes. Is that right?
No, it's like 240 million.
Well, I thought it was like millions.
Millions.
Tens of millions.
At one time.
In Florida, in Texas. This is happening.
California.
This just might not happen or no. This is happening. It's very, very strange. There's an outbreak of leprosy that's going on in Florida. There's now we've got people coming down with this tick fever where you can't eat meat. Does that not make perfect sense? If you want somebody to quit eating meat, just have a tick bite them or they can't have it. Go ahead and read the article. It's nuts.
Well, so this all comes back to grants. This is what's interesting to me. All of this stuff is
philanthropy.
It comes back to money, and they got a 1.283 million grant. And this was under a cattle tick problem, and Melinda and Bill, they funded this stuff or whatever. And you guys look it up yourself. I'm not going to tell you what I think on it, but they have genetically modified these ticks to where now people that used to could eat red meat, now they're becoming allergic to red meat. And Chris and I actually know a person or two that this has actually happened to. So you guys, I don't know, check it out, but he has become so prevalent in everything that we seem to see these days. So you want to look it up?
Well, I was going to talk about the leprosy for a minute, but I don't have my notes in front of me. I got some stuff I printed off, but yeah, they're all the time saying it's from armadillos, but there hasn't been anything like that going on from the cases I've heard about. We don't know. It's just weird. But there's more. There's more about Bill Gates and George Soros. Now they're buddied up and they're wanting to stop the climate change by putting aerosols in the air, creating fake clouds to block the sun.
Yeah.
Who comes up with this stuff? I got a whole story on it right here.
Yeah, well, before we go any further on that, let's talk about the ESG and all that. So there's been some backlash on this, and we've talked about that, where they're going to have ESG, and you've got to have that to get your credit scores up and all that kind of stuff. Well, there's been a little bit of a backlash on that. And so now some of the banks are starting to step back and go, whoa, hold on a minute. We've had so much backlash on that. So I don't know. You guys, we keep standing up. That's why we do this channel. We keep standing up. We keep pushing back. We keep saying, nope, this is not right. This is not okay. We're not okay with this. And so they've actually stepped back. They said amid backlash, they're going to step back on these. So since 2021, that every time you went to do a loan, they were looking at your ESG credit score. And because of all the backlash, that they're kind of stepping back now, and they're going, okay, nope, we're not going to consider that as much. So you guys, that's the power in the people. That's the power. We can step up and we can do something. We can say, nope, enough. I'll get off my soapbox.
No, but the people that run these companies, they'll get run off. They're getting in line for the future. ESG is a thing. Carbon credits, all that stuff.
Somebody wants to know if you found out about your egg allergy.
Okay.
They've asked like 10 times.
I'll tell you what, at the end of this live stream, I'll talk about my egg allergy, and I will tell you the story of why we got taken off of YouTube, and I will explain it without showing violence.
Well, do we want to go through some of the comments? Because I miss talking to some of the people. Or what do we want to do next?
I really enjoy that, but I feel like people are here for the news as well,
okay.
So I struggle with that. So at the end of the video, we'll get in there, and we'll make this a long one because I want to visit with you guys. So you want to talk about PayPal? No, PayPal. A little bit more on Soros.
Oh, well, so you guys, I am really look at his son that is stepping in. His son has come out and clearly stated that he is going to be more aggressive than his dad. And I think it's something that we need to pay attention to, of what he's going to be looking at, what he's going to be investing in, what is his agenda that he's going to be pushing. He is he's just with a lot of people that.
Let me finish up this S&P ESG thing with a quote from Mr. Hild, H-I-L-D, Hild. He said, "That's why woke companies don't seem to learn their lesson and keep pushing ESG's far left agenda. It's a cover for pushing politics using other people's money." That's it. He nailed it. It's not just for the conservatives. It's the whole country that are absolutely boycotting these brands like Bud Light, Target, and so on. ESG initiatives could expose business to legal action if they can be shown to be a breach of fiduciary responsibility to shareholders. So this ESG is like, I'm telling you, it's the new worshipful master of the green weenies. And whoever does the best job gets to prosper.
I think, though, some people have pushed back, though. I mean, you look at the Bud Light right now.
Should.
Well, so you look at even the guy that's next in line for the Bud Light. I forget his name. That's slipped my mind right now. But I just watched an interview with him the other day, and he even came out and said, "Hey, you guys, my company needs to take a look at what just happened, because that is not what apparently America wants to hear, and we need to." So I love it. I love the fact that the voice that we can have, we can speak out. We obviously got put in YouTube lockdown for 7 days, but the fact that we can speak out and we can, say, hey, this is not something we're comfortable with, just like the books that you saw were in Walmart and Target and all that kind of stuff. We can say, hey, we're not okay with this. We're not okay. And I love it, the fact.
It looked like they went through, I'll just tell you real quick, it looked like they went through my content with a fine-tooth comb.
They did after
there was like 4 other things that popped up right after.
Yeah.
And they're probably watching this.
Yep.
And if you are, there's no violence here. I'm full of love and happiness. Okay, let's talk about the EU and what George Soros and Billy Gooberhead Gates is up to. Now, here's the idea. Gates and leftist billionaire that's like bad grass, he just won't die, George Soros, involves pumping man-made white clouds into the atmosphere to reflect sunlight away from the planet's surface. The radical scheme would lower the planet's temperature and allegedly combat global warming. Soros claims the technology will help to prevent ice sheets from melting in Greenland, particularly. I feel like I need to change my voice when I talk about this. Like this. It could doom civilization.
Well, he just came out. He just said
our civilization is in danger of collapse because of inexorable advances in climate change.
Okay, Greta. I did not marry Greta.
Okay.
Even Bill Gates
I'm
is
sick of it. Soros said, this is a quote, "The melting of the Greenland ice sheets would increase the level of the oceans by 7 meters. How long have we heard this? None of it's happened. 0. We have climate change. It's called seasons. It's hot right now.
It's
hot.
Summer.
Okay.
And we're Louisiana.
Here's another quote. Can I change my voice, or is that no?
You can do it on camera, not off camera.
That poses a threat to survival of our civilization. The methods pushed by Bill Gates involves increasing aerosol concentrations in the stratosphere to reflect solar radiation away from the Earth. Gates has been funding a major project at Harvard, doing this with some type of balloons. I'm tired of talking about it, actually. It's poppycock. It's not. It's a distraction. It's show me something that's real. The worst drought. We just had the worst drought that we've had in 1,200 years. What the heck happened 1,200 years ago? Fill me in. But they're up to it.
Yep.
The EU is joining. they're getting on the bandwagon. They're thinking about it. But the problem is the critics are warning of unforeseen side effects, altering rain patterns, cooling the earth too much, causing an ice age. That's what's going to happen. They're going to cause something, just like tick fever and everything else is going on. Arguing that reports of climate crisis, hang on. Some scientists, now I don't want to be dinged for misinformation if you're watching GoobTube, but some scientists, not me, this is just the article, while others argue that reports of climate crisis are a hoax designed to raise taxes and restrict freedoms, renowned environmentalist Dr. Patrick Moore argues that an increased level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is beneficial, and claims of human-caused climate change are propaganda. That's from him, not me. It's just the article. So,
you guys, everything goes back to the money. Everything, you can trace it back to the money. Everything is a grant.
Well, we're past money. It's power.
It's power and money.
Yeah, we're talking about
control
people
and money.
We're talking about people like Bill Gates. Now, put this in perspective.
Okay, here we go. This is where we have coffee in the morning, and he and I gotta get serious.
No. Okay. Well, think about it. He says to reduce the population.
Oh, he did.
You have to have a healthy population through vaccines.
Because they don't populate.
Because we've learned that people that are healthy don't procreate as much. Now, does that make
any sense?
Zero. What do you feel like doing when you're sick? Nothing. I'm just saying, good luck getting some if you're sick. Anybody, but either party. So just take that for what it's worth. What do you think they're up to?
Yep.
It's nuts. I can't believe we're talking about ticks and leprosy and mosquitoes. It's actually a real thing. It's not. It's conjured up by man. Yep. They're messing with God's creation, and we're all going to pay for it.
We do.
They won't. They'll be flying around in their jets harping about climate change.
We do. We joke around sometimes a little bit about this, but it is true. That is what's happening. And it's a little bit scary when you kind of look at it. But anyway, that is what's happening with Bill Gates. And let me just tell you, that man, along with several of the different people in this world, he's going to have a heavy price to pay for it because he has done some different things in life. But anyway.
All right. We've got one more story.
I've got several more if we want to go on for tonight. Oh, the PayPal thing.
Well, okay. So think this through. All right. You're a smart community. You guys are so intelligent. What?
Let's stop for just 5 seconds. We've been on here for 38 minutes. Now let's just read a few comments.
Okay.
And maybe give another way of silver while we talk about the next
Okay,
story.
Guys. Get bit by a tick.
Seeing.
Can't digest meat. Isn't that the perfect scenario, Midnight Cowboy? That's what I would do. If I was an evil person with a petri dish, I just walked around with a petri dish stirring stuff up all the time, and I wanted to make something happen, I'd develop a tick that made people sick if they ate meat. Possum tastes like what they eat. They eat bugs, so yeah, they taste nasty. I've never eaten a possum, actually. I heard they're greasy. I'd try it, though.
I think your granddaddy did, didn't he?
Yeah, he didn't like to talk about it too much.
He didn't like to talk about it, but he did say they ate a possum or two. They were poor. Yeah.
But he might just ate it to see what it tastes like.
Speaking of which, you guys, we're going to do an interview with a bud, with survivalists, side hustle survivalists, about when having to take care of parents.
Is he in here?
I don't know if he's in here or not, but I've learned a lot from him lately. And actually, I am on my parents' butts right now to get their stuff in order. And we're going to do an interview about that. I want you to do an interview with him.
There's a few people that has brought value to my life, and Bud at Side Hustle Survivalist is one of those people.
Yeah.
He is a good old country boy that knows his stuff. He's coming out with some tax videos that is going to help.
He's helping me. He's teaching me.
Yes. Oh, because we've been getting ripped by the government.
So, and he's then MNJ, she's gone through some stuff with her family, her parents. So through all you guys that we've learned from, Chris is going to do an interview.
Not food.
Possum's not food. And so I'm on my parents right now, and you guys stay tuned for that video and get on your parents. It's not easy to do, to look at your parents and go, hey, do you have your affairs in order? But if not, you pay the price. And
thanks, Jeffrey. I appreciate you watching, man. I'm a vegan. Been one for about 8 years. Works for me. Easier to grow tomatoes than cow. Hey, more power to you. I don't have anything against vegans. Just a lot of times the problems I have with vegans is they want to kind of push what they want to do onto me. And it's like, wait a minute, I want to eat meat. As long as you don't do that, we're good. I don't care. You can do whatever you want. It's between you and you and you and God. So good job. Thanks for telling me that, Lily. 8 years. Wow. Do you have to take supplements? Because I know there's a lot of stuff in meat that you don't get. I know several people that got sick, actually, absolutely sick. They just had to go, and they were gung-ho vegan, and they had to start eating meat. You don't want to do that one?
Yeah, let's save that one for the
tomorrow's video. Yep. Okay, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Red meat and
steak and eggs. I'm in there. Filet mignon and a poached egg is one of my favorites. Breakfast.
Steak and eggs. We do like steak and eggs. M&J, duck fried in lard. Love you guys. William, you guys are great. All right.
All right, let's give another way a piece of silver.
I'm eating chicken while I'm watching. Okay. I want to tell about the story.
Okay, so let's do a hashtag, and while you're telling the story, let's let them do.
Let's give some silver away.
Because Daniel's given us 2.
Jake's Custom Auto Parts.
Hey,
man,
Jake.
Thank you for being here, Jake. I've talked to him in the comments so many times, and a lot of people don't know that. I feel like you guys are my friend. Literally. It's crazy. But when you talk to somebody every day, I mean, I talk to you guys more than I talk to my grandfather. And I'm ashamed of that. But, he's not in the comments, and that's something I try to do. And I have not been in the last week. I have been hyper-focused on my welding channel. I've been producing so much content over there. It doesn't seem like a lot of videos, but the time that goes into making a welding video is 10 times more than talking on camera. Anything else?
So let's do a silver giveaway, and then let's talk about your egg. And there was another thing you were going to talk about. What do you say laughing at?
He's a faux vegan.
Oh.
He only eats animals that eat vegetables.
Oh. All right. So let's do a silver giveaway, and then you're going to talk about talk about your egg thing, and then there was something else you're going to talk about.
Why we got kicked off YouTube?
Oh,
what
there you
was it? Because it was a good story.
Well, first off, we got to give a silver giveaway. So while we're doing that, then you can tell your stories.
Again,
I have to keep him on track.
Hashtag thank you, Daniel.
There you go.
For the next silver giveaway. Yes. Put in the time in
hashtag
there as many times
you,
as
Daniel.
you want. And no strings attached. Most people, I've seen people give silver away, and they're like, you got to go to Twitter, and you got to go to Rumble, and you got to do all this. But this is from Daniel.
And by the way, if you guys don't get coffee or silver from us, please text me and let me know, especially the coffee. I've struggled with the coffee shipping a little bit. And so I think, Johanna, yours should be on the way. So if you don't get it, please let me know, because the silver we've done pretty good with, but it seems like the coffee we've had a few hiccups. So let me know. But yeah, thank you, Hesha. So tell your story about, well, first, where you want to start off? The eggs or how we got kicked off?
Let's do eggs first.
Okay, talk about eggs.
All right, so I'm going to give you the whole gambit. I was having some bloating, gas, just all the time. It's like, something's going on.
He farted a lot.
Like, farting my ABCs, it's nuts. And it's like embarrassing, and which I don't get embarrassed, to be honest with you. So I kind of made a joke out of it. But either way, when you're in public or eating or something like that, and your stomach's bloated, you got to fart so bad, it's like, I got to do something. I got to go. Anyway, so this was all going on. So I went and had allergy test done. And there's 2 different types of allergy tests. There's one that I don't remember the name of it, but it's what you're allergic to immediately. Peanut allergy, or something like that. You eat it and you swell up and you quit breathing. Well, I had 0 of those. The other allergy test is like 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later. It gets in your small intestine, and it feeds the wrong bacteria. There's an overgrowth, and the bacteria make gas, and blah, blah, blah. And there's actually some way more things going on. I've got serious scars on the side of my head because I used to have knots come up on the side of my head. There's like ingrown hairs, and it was brutal. Trying to weld with a freaking cyst on the side of your head. was with a mask all day long was just rough.
Well, I hated it for him too because you were self-conscious. We would go
Yeah,
out,
well,
and
I
I
looked
hated
like-
it for, and I love him regardless. But he was self-conscious.
It did. It
about
looked wild, like your whole side of your head would swell up.
Yeah.
You know, good luck making a video. And actually, if you go back, the videos I made with a beanie on, a toboggan, was to cover that up. And you know, I'm really don't get embarrassed very easy. But anyway, on with the story. I wanted to address that, and I knew I had something going on because, guys, you are what you eat, and I know that. You don't just build a body out of nothing. Well, a lot of people are doing that, but they're not doing it very well, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it came back. Test came back. I was allergic to eggs,
yeast,
brewer's yeast. It's like my two favorite things. All right,
beer, and eggs.
An ice cold beer in the summer, or bread, or anything like that. Codfish. The only thing I was allergic to more than eggs was brewer's yeast. So I cut all that out. I have not had an egg in 2 months until a few days ago because I wanted to cut it completely out, see how I felt, and then start introducing it back in because I would like to be able to eat eggs again. I had 28 chickens. The doctor told me that. He said, "You realize I got 28 chickens?" Anyway, so that's the deal with the egg allergy. I still don't know, but I can tell you one thing. I went straight to keto. I have the ability to eat whatever. If I'm on a mission, I'm doing this. I've eaten sardines for breakfast every day. No eggs. What else do I have for breakfast? Avocado sardines, and pork rinds, and just pretty much straight up keto, medium protein, 0 carbs, maybe 10 or 20 carbs.
So when I go
done that for 2 months, and if you don't notice, I have almost 0 body fat. I look a little puny, actually, I think. When I eat carbs, I'll swell back up. But I want to get my gut healthy. I don't care about muscle mass. I don't care about anything. I want to be just healthy and feel good. And I do. I feel amazing. I feel really good. I can go from can to can, fasting, butter coffee. That is just, I am rolling because I got a ton of stuff to do. My day starts at 5:30, and I work till about 11 at night. And I've been able to do that better fasting with keto. So if you guys are interested, you should do that. All right. Let's do the give a silver away.
We do. Before we do this, I got to tell you a funny story. So I go to the grocery store now, and the guys that are checking me out, or the women or whatever, I have these huge packets of sardines and these bags and bags of pork rinds. And they're looking at me, and they're like, one guy even asked me, he goes, "Are you from British?" Because I didn't realize British love sardines. Britain. I didn't love that. I didn't know that. Yeah. And I said, "No, this is just my husband. This is what he eats." So I get, every time I go to the grocery store, I get. All right, let's
whatever
pick a thing,
it takes is
and then
what
you can
I'll
tell
do.
how we got knocked off. And then we're at 47 minutes.
Okay, let me go up.
Oh, wow, we got a lot. You got a lot.
Thank you, Daniel. All right.
Man, I've missed talking to some of you guys on this chat.
I'm going to go all the way back down.
Okay. You're going to have to go down a while. Keep going. Nope, go down a while. Keep going. Okay, now go back up. Keep going. Okay, go back up. All right, stop. Boom. David Morse.
David Morris.
That's what your finger hit on. David Morse.
All right, David.
Actually,
number, if you can see it. If you can't see it, it's 318-564-5823. Stacey sells precious metals for Miles Franklin.
No, you've ordered from us, David. I'm pretty sure that's the same David. So I think I have your contact information, but let me know if that is the same David.
Shoot her a text.
And
phone will probably go off in a minute.
Hey, see what the chat is, and then tell about how we got kicked off.
I got a super chat. The Shielded Prepper.
Oh, hey, you guys.
You guys look great even with pork rinds. Okay, guys, if you hadn't checked out the Shielded Prepper,
yes,
he is a godly man, and he has a great YouTube channel. It's just starting to get rolling. He's producing excellent content, and it's always uplifting, and it's always got a happy ending. It's always a you feel better after you watch it.
Yep.
So check out the Shielded Prepper. Actually, all you have to do is click his icon there, and it'll take you over to his channel. You can see the content it produces and see if you like it before you don't subscribe because I say so. That's like a death knell to a YouTube channel. Don't do that. So if you like it, subscribe and give him a like, and support him because he's good people. He's I've been separating the wheat from the chaff for a long time. He's the wheat. Okay, now what happened on YouTube? I'll tell you the story.
Be careful what you say. Don't get us another strike.
All right, so the first video was a song. What do you call it? Parody.
It was a conglomeration someone had put together about Hunter Biden.
Hunter Biden, and he was, I can't remember the song now.
Anyway,
he was doing drugs and talking about all the dealings that he had with his dad and money they're getting from the Ukraine. And just, it was just really, really funny. Now, and after that video, this was going in one of my live streams. I'm going to let you guys watch it right before the live stream.
And we were going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about
different things that are happening. Yeah.
Well, the next video is the violence video.
That's
what I got dinged for. And I didn't even get it uploaded good. I did not even.
You had it private.
I actually unlisted, but as soon as it uploaded in about 60 seconds, Stacey walks in the door and says, "You've been kicked off of YouTube for a week." I was like, and I had to take a butt chewing for 2 hours. Finally, I just said, "Look, I'm beating myself up enough. I still got blisters on my butt." Anyway, so the next one was
he pushes the envelope.
A guy that walked into a convenience store, and it's like I just knew it was another one of those videos where you just see somebody come in and they're scratching stuff off the shelves and they're putting it in a basket. And this guy had a roller, I think it was a roll around garbage can. He was pushing a garbage can. I was filling it up, cigarettes, and just doing whatever he wanted. And there's a guy videoing behind the counter saying, "Hey man, you can't do that. You can't do that, man. No, don't do it. Don't do it." And this little Arab guy and another one, two of them, one grabbed him and put him on the ground, and the other one grabbed a
baseball bat.
No, it wasn't a baseball bat.
It wasn't a baseball bat?
No,
I thought it was.
It was a cane. That's how you get punished over there. A caning, a good old-fashioned caning.
He got his butt.
So he just kind of walked off kind of briskly, came back with a cane about 5 foot long, about that big around, and one dude held him down, and that Arab with a turban, diaper, he held him down and whipped him, just gave him a whooping. And he didn't hit him in the head. He didn't hit him in the face.
He just hit him in the legs.
He hit him in the legs and knee, and it hurt. It looked like it hurt. You could hear it. He was like, "Okay, uncle, stop. Okay. He just kept on whooping him. The moral of the story was what I was going to talk about was I wasn't going to promote that. I won't say anything. But the moral is we're getting mixed signals from our government. You're giving the population mixed signals and saying, hey, if they want to steal, you got to let them steal. I don't care if it's your store. You don't get to approach them. You don't get to do anything. Mm-hmm. Well, this guy said, enough's enough. This is not going to work in my store. And he did what he thought was right. But if we had, that's what the government's supposed to do. The government is supposed to step in when things like that happen, when somebody's been wronged or govern a little bit. They're not supposed to be 1984, the thought police, misinformation, disinformation, all these entitlements and things. The free market should work that out, and we don't have it anymore.
What do you mean the government should step in? Because I don't think the government should step in. I think that should be the store owner's right to say, hey, you're stealing from me. But unfortunately, what do you mean?
Somebody walks into your store and they start stealing, you pick up the phone, unless they got a gun to you and you blow them away. But if they just come in there stealing, you say, hey, I got a problem. Okay, be right there. Whoop, and they pick them up. And you should be able to apprehend them. You should be able to stop them. But I don't think you should be able to just do whatever you want to, because some people are going to take that to the next level. There's no way to govern that. That's what the government's for. They're supposed to protect their citizens.
I see what you're saying.
That's their sole purpose, is to protect the citizens.
Okay. All right. I see where you're going with that. So, yeah. But unfortunately, right now, we don't have that because they cannot respond. For one, there's too many. And two, they just don't respond because there's too many of these incidents going on.
And this goes as far as what's happening at the border. An absolute crisis. all the new words, existential, unprecedented, all those things, millions, think about that just for a second, over 22 million. It's an estimate. Tucker Carlson, some other people that I trust have come up with. I don't know. I'm not there. I might go down there and check it out.
Somebody said you shouldn't. We'll see.
But we've had 10,000 Chinese people that have been caught, that have been, what do you call it?
Apprehended?
No, encountered. We've had 10,000 Chinese encounters. Chinese nationalists. It takes 40,000 to 60,000. I know a lot of subscribers heard this 10 times, but this is really big news. It takes $40,000 to $60,000 to get a Chinese migrant here. How are they doing that? Just put that in perspective. How many people got through that they didn't catch? I'd say 10x. You could put that in perspective as like how many people are poaching and acting wrong on a wildlife refuge that's maybe 100,000 acres and it's got maybe 10 game wardens on it. We're talking about a whole big stretch of land. They're running over at night. They're doing all that stuff. Now, to make it even worse, we've had 33,000 Russian encounters. Who knows the ones we haven't caught or don't know about? Now we've got Abbott. He's sending these migrants all over the U.S. And these New York, what was the other one?
Massachusetts just declared an emergency.
They're having these emergencies because they don't know what they're going to do. They're turning soccer fields.
And also they're talking about the New York Central Park. They're going to turn it into possibly housing. Here's where I have a problem. And I'm just going to go back real quick. I just want to revisit the shop owner thing a little bit. I disagree with that completely, that they have no rights. When you have someone that's in your shop and that's doing that, you do have certain rights. I agree that it can be taken out of context. I agree with that. But at some point, you've got to have certain rights to defend your own property.
Of
just
course.
like, so I'm not going to say that you can't just like that person.
And you can hold it down. The cops get there.
Yeah. So I'm going to kind of disagree a little bit with that.
You're not disagreeing.
Okay. But where you were like,
we're in agreement.
You were like, we just pick up the phone and call the cops. Yeah,
well,
but at some point, it doesn't
they can't
work.
Get there. You got to hold them until they get there. That's fine. But I don't think you should be able to punish them, even though you want to, and it make you feel good.
No. I don't think you should. Yeah. I don't think you. Yeah,
but
you should be able to hold them.
Punish somebody that's doing bad, especially somebody else that can't defend themselves.
But when you were coming to all these immigrants, and Chris and I were talking about this, and it is becoming bad, you guys. I mean, it is becoming a real big issue, and we're going on an hour long now, Chris. We're going to cut this off soon. But this is becoming Chris and I have been talking about this for months now. What's he saying?
Lord gave us two cheeks, one for talking and one for spanking.
This has become an issue, you
guys. It was a whooping.
It was.
It was a whooping.
It was.
I got a lot of joy out of it. I can't say that I didn't.
This is becoming a really big issue. And here's where I have a problem, is the fact that there's a book I want you guys to read. And next time I come out here, there's a book I want you to read. She's a baseball player, and her parents came over, and how they came over legally and how they worked their butts off to become legal citizens, not illegal. And they did not expect everything. And they went through 2 world wars. And I'm going to show you the book next time we do a video. It's absolutely fascinating, the book. I ordered another one so that I can mark it up. The one I have now actually has the baseball card in it and stuff. But you guys, this immigration issue, I think it's becoming, I know you're reading the comments.
Military age men, he's right.
It's becoming a really big issue. They are doing right now, if you look in New York right now, they have said, we have no more money. We're out. They have actually gone to the border and they have given flyers out to the people at the border saying, we're out. We have no more funds. We have no place to put you. Go somewhere else. They're going to start putting them in New York Central Park. They just took some soccer islands, some soccer fields, and they're going to start doing tent camps, they're called. They actually, within one day, they all started laying the grounds for that. Massachusetts declared a state of emergency. You guys, this is an issue. And so here's the thing is.
It's the same thing happening in Rome.
There's some good people. I'm not saying that's not coming across. But you also got some bad apples, just like everything else. So you talk about people that are hungry. They have no food. They don't like what we're feeding them. They said they don't like the hotels. You want to talk about looting? You want to talk about stuff that's going to get bad.
Side Hustle Bud's here.
Hi, Bud. Look forward to seeing you in a day or two.
Yeah, actually, I hope you guys are going to be in Iowa.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be there at the Red Pill. I'll learn stuff that I got a whole new book I bought a brand new notepad to take notes because we're going to leave there with something.
I agree. Well, babe, we're at an hour-long thing. So you guys,
All right,
yes, we
guys.
look forward to seeing you. Gigi and I and Chris will be there.
Thank you for being here.
It's so
Have
good
an
to see you.
awesome day. It's good to be back. We'll see you in the next one. Later.